What's up, everybody? It is Rustbeard, and today we're going to be talking about some World of Warcraft. So, it's come to my attention that the war in Warcraft is no longer present, and hi, Willow. And that's just upsetting because obviously I grew up playing World of Warcraft and I have always loved the war aspect of it. More so, I enjoy the story, yes, but I think there's a giant elephant in the room when it comes to Dragonflight. Now, Dragonflight is fantastic. I've loved what I've played of Dragonflight. I have made it pretty far in the story. I think that the problem is that it's really good, but it's not what anybody had pictured it to be in the beginning. You know what? I think it is more so that people thought it was going to be the Dragon Isles, but with that old school World of Warcraft charm to it, And I think it is kind of missing that, especially with the WoW Classic servers doing really well and Hardcore doing really well. Here's the thing. We all just need to take a step back and realize that Blizzard has gone through some big changes since their inception. The original World of Warcraft team is pretty much not even there anymore. Luckily, we're getting Chris Metzen back, and that should definitely help things, but it's not the same. Activision kind of came in and ruined the game. I personally have been a shill for it for a while, to be honest with you. I've always loved pretty much every expansion other than Shadowlands. I even liked Warlords of Draenor for the most part. Obviously the content drought sucked, and then when they slapped us in the face with the selfie cam patch, that was a little bit whack, but it is what it is. And looking back now, knowing what we know about that time, the Warlords of Draenor time period in World of Warcraft's history, now that we know that a lot of the SA stuff was happening and the harassment and so forth was going on roughly during that time period, probably before then, and who knows how much longer after that, but we do know that that's the time that the game kind of fell off as far as content goes, So here we are in Warlords of Draenor. Everybody's complaining about the content drought and how there's not enough stuff to do. Well, now that we know that that's the case, and there was things that were going on that weren't game development, unfortunately, that kind of makes a lot more sense. It's not justified, it never will be. We can see the gradual decline from there, and eventually the very fast decline from there. After that, we got Legion, and Legion was an absolute success, I think. I loved Legion. I thought Legion was pretty fun, and I think that Legion is probably the last expansion that I played where I actively would go out of my way to play other classes. I usually stick to my main, I usually stick to my Death Knight, sometimes my Druid or my Hunter, but for the most part, I stuck with my Death Knight pretty much throughout Warlords of Draenor. Until the very end, I was kind of bored, so I was just leveling other alts, and transmog runs and stuff. Legion came out, and we got to see a huge spark in creativity as far as the artifact weapons go, and that was super fun. I think that everybody had a lot of fun with that. Unfortunately, borrowed power kind of sucks, and we had to get rid of those shiny new weapons and stuff, even though we get to keep the skins, I suppose. It's not the same, I don't think. And right after that, Battle for Azeroth. I'm not gonna lie to you, when we were starting to get leaks and promotions and stuff for Battle for Azeroth, I was super hyped up. Like, I was insanely pumped up for the prospect of being able to, create your ships and stuff and go sailing and stuff on your boats with your friends and whatnot. Like, that idea to me was just swelling in my mind, and I thought it was a fantastic idea. I thought it would have brought something new to the game. I thought it would have brought some more creativity and excitement for individual players to be able to create pirate ships or whatever, and unfortunately we never got that, so it is what it is. And Battle for Azeroth kind of fell flat. It wasn't bad, I don't think. I liked Battle for Azeroth quite a bit. I went from wanting to play every single class that I possibly could to get my artifact weapons and appearances and stuff like that to I'm probably going to go back to just chilling with my main and progressing the story, honestly. And it really sucks because Bwansambi, for example, today one of my favorite characters in all of the lore. I love Bwansamdi, and what happened to him? We got a dungeon in the next expansion, and he's just gone, you know? So that kind of blows. I think started to see an all-time low, obviously, with Shadowlands. It just did not work. Battle for Azeroth, you know, the zones were cool, they were fun, there was a lot of cool stories and stuff going on, and we got to see kind of a step back in a way, because you could tell that they were struggling a little bit with all the stuff going on. But like, I wouldn't consider it a bad expansion. I wouldn't consider it a good expansion either, I guess. It's kind of in the middle, you know? Then Shadowlands came. And here's where the in defense of WoW comes in, because I'm not going to defend Shadowlands as a whole. I'm not going to defend it as an expansion. I thought it was absolute dog shit, and I don't really know what they were going for with it. In all honesty, the Jailer was probably the worst villain I've ever seen in any form of fiction, to be honest with you, especially fantasy RPG style stuff. You know, it was just not good. I really hate what they did with Sylvanas. Don't get me wrong, I don't disagree with her burning Teldrassil. That built her character up quite a bit. I don't agree with genocide, of course, so there's a disclaimer there, but I do agree that it pushed her character so far into the limelight that we got to see her true colors, you know? And when she finally stormed off and, you know, showed the Horde what she was intending the whole time, I thought that was alright. I don't agree with her with the Jailer and all that stuff. I don't know. I honestly could not tell you where their mindset was with all of that. It didn't make any sense to me whatsoever. But I will say, as far as Shadowlands goes, the environments were really cool. Like Bastion, I think the color scheme of Bastion overall is really cool. The art department, I don't think ever has a problem, really. I think just about every expansion's got their really cool zones, you know, and like, I don't know, Shadowlands felt different enough as far as the zones go and the creativity involved in that. It just wasn't necessary, you know? Like, I don't know. It's upsetting to see that we got that far, but, you know, we can't win them all. And at that point, you know, we had the lawsuits coming out and the negativity building, and it was just a really, really, really rough time for World of Warcraft. Now, hear me out. I know a lot of people, their last straw was Shadowlands. I know a lot of people say that the war is gone in Warcraft and that we are just beyond repair as far as putting life back into the game. And I know a lot of people are also kind of getting a spark of hope from Chris Metzen being back, but I have spoken to a couple of people and seen a couple of things online where people don't think that's enough, and they don't think it's going to be enough in the long run. And that sucks, because I love the game. I always have. I've been playing since I was a child. Like, it's become a place for me that I like to be in, you know? And when you tell me that Chris Metzen is going to be back after I'm already having fun with Dragonflight, like, Dragonflight's fun. However, I agree with the sentiment that there is no war in it anymore, and it's just kind of like, let's hold hands and hug and walk down the field of flowers and stuff like that. And I understand that is not exactly what people go to World of Warcraft for. But, guys, you gotta take a breath, man. Don't give up on it just yet. They had a rough couple of years, you know, like, there was a lot going on. The SA stuff happened. Shadowlands was an absolute flop, you know, like, they had to take a minute to just kind of, like, breathe a little bit of life back into it, resuscitate the game just a little bit. And I think that the next expansion, we are going to be seeing a landslide of improvement as far as like content goes. The war, I think, is going to be put back in Warcraft. I do believe that we're going to be seeing some kind of scenario where we take back Gilneas, which that is enough to entice me to play the new expansion, you know, like, that would be fun. Even if we go to the other side of Azeroth, that's something we've been waiting for since the beginning. Just like the Dragon Isles, we've been waiting for that for a long time. There are so many different things that are being hinted at right now that lead us into an expansion that does have the war and Warcraft and the Scarlet Crusade and, like I said, the Gilneas thing. I don't know. Just wait and see. Don't give up on it just yet. I would love to see you all in the game. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about this. I don't think bashing the game is constructive enough to warrant, so I'm probably not going to respond to anything like that. I will say, if you want to have a discussion with it, an adult discussion about what do you guys like about the game? What do you guys dislike about the game? What do you think needs to happen in order for some of these players that have completely given up on it to come back, you know? Let's talk about that stuff. I'd love to. Anyway, I think that's going to be all for this one. I appreciate you stopping by. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.